Hello guys and girls, how's it going? It's me, Screezilla here, and I hope you're all well, and you join me on the dev server. So today we're just going to have a quick overview, see what's new and see what's around. First of all, France is getting a new tank. I didn't see this in any dev servers, I've not seen this mentioned, but the AMX-40, unfortunately, is not the Duck. As many War Thunder players will be disheartened to know. But this is the AMX-40 prototype. Now, this was a prototype tank developed in the late 80s, and it kind of looks a little bit like the AMX-30 mated with a Leopard. We've got some composite armor in there, so it actually does have a little bit more armor, and also it looks like it's got blowout panels at the rear, so that is good news for the tank, and also composite armor for the engine section as well. Also, this front mantlet as well is composite 2, so we've got the NERA elements for protection, so not huge amounts of protection, but it does give you an extra 300 against kinetic and 330 against chemical munitions. It's not completely over the tank, so you're still going to get quite a few penning shots. Armor wise is not that great, 50 millimeters, but relatively well angled armor. The main thing for this tank is it will have a stabilizer. When it was made, it had a stabilizer, at least. I will say that. When it was made, it had a stabilizer. This tank was designed with a gun stabilization system to it. Hopefully that will be implied in the game. So let's just quickly look at modifications. So start off with the OFL 120, and you can unlock the OCC 120 GL, 600 millimeters penetration of chemical round, 380 to 370 millimeters of kinetic round penetration. So this will have a relatively good penetration value. If we compare that to the Breno, and as you can see with the Breno, if we look at the composite armor on the Breno, it only has ERA, so there's no actual real composite armor in there. It also doesn't have the blowout panels at the back, so you know, it's much less protected. This is going to make the Breno obsolete, basically. It's still going to be useful, but it's not going to be as good. So as you can see with the Breno, 400 millimeters of penetration for its OCC 150 F1. However, a little bit more of penetration with the APFDS, I think. Similar penetration values. It is a bit of a different gun though. This has got the 150 millimeter gun. The AMX-40 has a 120 millimeter GAT cannon, so a much more powerful weapon on the AMX-40. So basically, everybody that's grounded at the Breno, you've got a good backup tank, but basically you want to unlock this first. This is going to be your main battle tank. This is the MBT of the French tech tree. Instead of Leclerc, we're going to be getting the AMX-40 by the looks of it. Aviation. So nothing overly new. I think there's a new Leo 451, late version. Believe that's new because I don't have it unlocked, which I most likely would have, being it's a bomber, but it's a Leo 451. No real differences in all honesty, just a couple more turrets. I think it's got a front turret and no, I think it's pretty much the same. We also get the F4U7, the fantastic Corsair. Now this was the export Corsair, and this was used by the French Air Force, or French Naval Air Force, and this thing is going to be an absolute beast for CAS. Let's look at the loadouts quickly. So yeah, 114 SNB rockets. Yep, that's a lot of rockets. That's a lot of rockets. Now, these have explosive filler, and also they have about 300. Well, they have 300 millimeters of penetration. So yeah, you're going to be getting very I'm very scared of this plane very quickly. It's going to make the French one of the biggest CAS nations out there. We're also getting the F-84 G26RE. Yes, another F-86. Sorry, F-84 even. So, yep, we've seen many of those. Modifications, will it get SNEBs? No, it just looks like it gets the same sort of weapon systems everywhere else, including the HVAR rockets and Tiny Tims. No French rockets on there, unfortunately, so very, very dull on there, but it does have a nice nose decal of the Grim Reaper. So let's head to Italy and see what's new there. Oh, a new Italian plane for all those Italian players. The RE2000GA, which is a improved version of the RE2000 Series 1. So you get the same guns. Yeah, not much there to talk about really, it's very similar. And that looks like it's about it. Ugh, poor Italians. I really feel sorry for you guys. And no new tanks. Let's head to Japan. This is one we've all been waiting for, the aviation tech tree, the Ki-32. Yes, an amazing aircraft here. The Ki-32. Look at this beautiful vehicle. This is going to make a huge difference to the Japanese aircraft tech tree. This is going to be a pivotal vehicle. We've got the twin machine guns at the back, twin 7.7mm machine guns. Up front, we have a single 7.7mm machine gun. If we look at the X-ray, we can see the absolutely amazing gun layout here of the single 7.7mm machine gun that faces forwards, left of the pilot. As you can see, this is going to be an absolutely deadly plane to go heads up in. Do not heads up this plane, you will die instantly. You have this magnificent Kawasaki H9 2B 12-cylinder engine, which produces almost 700 horsepower. Over 700 horsepower on takeoff. This means this thing's going to be actually quite nippy. No racist pun intended there, actually. And look at the bomb load you get. 4 100-kilogram Army Type 94 bombs with an explosive mass of 46 kilograms. This is going to be deadly. This is going to be the new meta for ground attacking. This is the new CAS monster. Yeah, this thing is deadly. Just look at it. Look at this beast. I'm actually excited to take it out, I must admit, because it's going to be crap. And I love crap aircraft. Okay, and scrolling down now, I do apologise if I do miss anything that's not already unlocked, because sometimes it's a bit hard to see what you have and haven't got. I don't recall there being much else in the Japanese tech tree that's new. So let's move on to... Oh wait, there's tanks, isn't there? I forgot about those. Okay, nothing new in the low tiers. Nothing good there, nothing good there. No, it looks like there's nothing there at all. Oh wait, what's this? Type 90? I wouldn't know anything about it. Okay, let's have a little look at this thing. Ah, look at it. What is this thing? Looks like a leopard. Okay, jokes aside, Type 90 is finally here. Okay, this thing is an absolute monster of a tank. Really, really cool vehicle. Let's see what penetrations we get. So, with APFDS, we're getting 520mm penetration. That is enough to counteract pretty much most things in-game. A chemical round of 650mm. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yes, this is the Rheinmetall 120mm gun, but this should be an auto-loading variant. So if we look at reloading speed of 5 seconds, let's just quickly jump ahead. We'll look at you in a second, Leo. Don't worry. Reloading speed at 7.8. Beautiful. That's what I wanted to check out. Okay, so good. Does look like the autoloader is fitted. Alrighty. So, yeah, this thing has an autoloader. Yes, this is an auto-loading 120mm Rheinmetall Borsig gun. Oh boy, is that thing gonna rock. So, yeah, this thing is looking quite exciting, I must admit. I'm getting quite excited for it. I wonder how many more Golden Eagles I will need to get it complete. Oh, not too many more, not too many more. Okay, okay, I'll have to save up a little bit more to get it. So let's look at the preview quickly. Okay, armor. Oh, look, only 35 millimeters of armor. This thing's going to be useless. Look, it has very, very light armor, of course. 80 millimeters of rolled homogeneous steel armor at the side to give protection. Very little armor on the sides as well. Very lightly armored with external armor. Now let's look at the important stuff. 360 millimeters of kinetic protection, 600 against kinetic round. Sorry, chemical rounds. Okay, the gun mantlet there is going to be a very big weak point. That's something to worry about, actually. This thing's not going to be as... Okay, the armor does look a little bit less than expected, but we'll have to see how that goes when it comes out. It's still got relatively good protection, but we'll have to see how that works. Now, the biggest issue for this tank is you only have 3 crew members, and that's going to be the thing that really makes this tank suffer. Having so little crew is going to really affect it, because if you get hit through the side here, you're down straight away, because you only have the 3 crew members. So you're really going to have to play carefully with this. It does, of course, have blow-off panels, so that's going to keep the ammo protected a little bit. Let's take it out for a test drive, and let's see how well it performs on the test range. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, it's going to be one of the less armoured tanks of the new breed. But the thing is, this thing was made for modern combat with... Not too slow. It's it's not nearly as fast as an Abrams or a Leo, of course. Now we've got the chemical rounds equipped. Big thing's going to be that reload speed. So as you see here, we've got that reload speed is absolutely monstrous. Oh boy. And that won't go up any further. A little bit far. You won't be able to improve the reload speed. Okay, we just went straight through the front of a T-64 there. That was straight through its composite armor. Now let's just see how we're going for our ready rack. So as you can see there, we're using the ammo at the back there first. Let's see where it's going from. Yeah, so it's going from the back there. So you do have some spare ammunition in the vehicle, so it's probably going to be worth taking them out so you don't have that risk of your crew dying. Okay, we just completely annihilated that T-64 through the front. Yep, that chemical round is going to be quite useful. Alrighty, let's head back to the hangar. Oh boy, this thing is going to be a bit of a monster. And I guess you can tell what I'm buying first of all. I'm going to be using some Golden Eagles to get this vehicle. I'm not ashamed to say that. So yeah, this thing is going to be quite monstrous. Yeah, this should be fun. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna calm down a little bit. We'll see how well it goes in the live server. Okay, off to Great Britain now. So let's look at the planes. Nothing new, nothing new. Not seeing anything new down there. Nope. Looks like there's nothing new for the British in plane terms that I can see. I might be wrong, but I don't see anything good. Don't see any new bombers, unfortunately. So let's look at the army. So we're getting a new... Oh, boy. Oh, we're getting the Vickers. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're getting the Mighty Vickers SPAA. Now, this is based off the Vickers Mark II tank, Mark III tank. I can't remember which one it is. So this is basically a 1920s tank. So as you can see, it has 1920s tank armor, which is none, and it has 1920s tank weaponry, which is bugger all. This thing is going to be ridiculously silly. So you've got 4 7.92mm machine guns with a armor piercing value of about 13 to 11mm. In a very slow, very awkward, awful tank chassis. Oh, this thing is looking... Oh, this is going to be hilarious at my tears. Okay, so two crew members. As you can see, there's a fuel tanks, and then it's covered in ammunition. We have an engine, 78 horsepower power. Oh god, I can't believe I've added this. I'm sad they haven't added the Vickers tank either. Okay. Alright, I'll stop laughing. Let's just quickly take this out for a test drive. What a useless SPA. Okay, this is possibly the most useless SPAA in the game now. Because unlike the milk truck, it doesn't really have the speed. As you can see, we've got a little bit of speed. Let's try and... hit the BF-110 there. Okay, we've got a hit. Okay, we've got a few hits on there. Getting some more hits. Alright. We've overheated 2 guns. We've got a fair amount of hits there. Let's see the damage we've caused. Oh, yeah. It looks fine. Okay. Possibly the most useless SPAA in the game now. If we can get enough hits on target, this plane will fall out of the sky simply because it has so much lead inside of it. We might be able to get a pilot snipe. That's our only hope here. Oh, we've smoked. We set it on fire. Oh my god, we might have done it. We've killed it. Oh my god, it's only taken... It only took, what, like 600 rounds of ammunition, or like 400, 500 rounds of ammunition to do it, but we killed the BF-110. Oh god, glory is this vehicle. So as you can see, there's no stabilization. Oh god, we can't do anything to anything. Like, oh my god, useless. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh god, okay, that's possibly my favourite stupid vehicle now, beating over the Japanese bomber. First day, I will be taking that out for a test drive. Forget the top tier tanks, this is the thing I'm looking forward to most now. Okay, so we've got a ridiculous vehicle. Yay. Okay, now into some more serious stuff. We've got the Centurion Mark V AVRE, so 7.0. So that's not too bad. That means that it's going to be well for your Vickers and Centurion Mark X lineup. This is no top tier tank though. There's also the Chieftain Marksman, of course. That is the other major thing, and this is just a Marksman turret on a Chieftain chassis. Nothing much new here. At least Britain has finally got a radar SPAA. Let's look at the Centurion. So this thing is cool looking, I must admit. I do love this vehicle. It's not going to be great though. It's going to be a bit useless. It's going to be a bit naff in all honesty. Armor wise, as you can see, same armor as the Centurion, but we have got the added protection of ERA. Now, ERA at this BR is not going to... Well, it might actually help a little bit because people use Heat FS quite a lot. Now, one thing I did want to check was this... Okay, good. They have actually structured it properly. So, the front is well armoured on this thing. You've got 70mm from that... 70mm of armour from this bulldozer blade. You then have 70mm of armour on the front. So, this thing is not going to have to go hull down. This thing has got protection here. If you crest a hill line, nothing's going to get through you. This bulldozer blade is going to stop heat rounds, or should do, because of the gap. So that should be a huge advantage to this vehicle. The other thing you get, of course, is the 165mm mortar. Let's just take it out for a quick run and just see how well that Hesh round goes. Obviously, this thing is just going to lob shells and destroy things, but the issue is going to come at range. At long range, these shells are going to be a bit useless. Oh, great, we get the top tier test drive. As you can see there, we missed our shot. Yeah, you're going to basically have to aim to the moon to get anything on target quite far away. Yes, I am range finding at this distance. Forgive me. So 250, so it should be about there, I reckon. So let's see how it goes against the IT1. There we go. So we blew the tank completely up, which is exactly how that round should go. But slow reload, slow gun, it's going to be very awkward to use. It's going to be a bit funny to use, but pretty much this thing is going to be a bit useless, mainly for collectors. It's not really going to help you in top tier combat that much. Because it's such a short barrel, it has a very slow velocity, unlike the Shed, which has a long barrel, which gives it much more velocity, so it's easier to aim. That's going to be one of the big problems. This thing is just going to be like playing one of the low tier howitzers, basically, one of the low tier big cannon vehicles. Have they renamed the STRV-81 to the RB52? That's a new name. I don't recall seeing that before. Maybe I've just missed it. Okay, that's it. That's all she wrote for Britain. So that's all there. Russia. So let's start off in the aviation tree. Let's see what there is. We'll try and keep an eye out and spot things. Not seeing anything that... Is the Russian P-47 always there? Oh, is this because it's a dev server, maybe? Not seeing anything jump out at me at the moment. Nope, don't see anything. Is that new? Yeah, that's new. Okay, so there is a new jet. And they do actually put a new vehicle on the side there, so that's something. So we've got a new jet, the IL-28SH. Okay. So... a lot of rockets. Low penetration, but quite a bit of explosive mass in them. 192 S5K rockets on there. Or you can equip cannons. Okay, that is different to the normal IL-28, I'm pretty sure. I don't play it, I don't have it. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, guys. So this might be a bit of a sleeper. So, yeah, that's some heavy ordnance and some interesting rockets there. So you can equip 4 23mm cannons on this thing, and you've got some very deadly looking rockets, which could be interesting, and a lot of them as well. Let's just have a look at this thing. So it's just basically an updated IL-28, really. I imagine it's got slightly better engines, things like that. So yeah, that could be interesting. Okay, that's something that I haven't seen yet. So that is very much new. Not seeing anything else really in the Russian tech tree that's jumping out at me that's screaming new. So let's look at the army. And again... nothing looking like it's new. There is, of course, the upgrades for T64, was it? Where you get, yeah, the T64BV and the yeah, so T64BV upgrades there are. But yeah, I'm not really seeing anything new in the Russian tech tree, so forgive me if I am wrong, but I'm not really seeing anything as I quickly glance over stuff. So it looks like Russia has pretty much been forgotten about this patch. Now on to the things that people are waiting for. Well, let's go to America first. I'm going to be a bit of a tease. Okay, so for aviation, we have the new P40, the P40 F10. Now this thing is a beautiful plane. I'm looking forward to taking this thing out. It is just a gorgeous vehicle. I love P40s, they are fantastic vehicles. This thing is just a beautiful vehicle as well. Access to bombs, pretty much P40, just a slightly upgraded variant. It's got the beautiful Allison engine to it as well. So should have a little bit more speed, as you can see there. Yep. So not upgraded though, so it should have decent speed. It will be a very decent plane indeed. Nothing new, nothing new. Nope, nothing new down there. Okay, and that's looking like it's it for the American tech tree for planes that I can see. I'm not seeing anything else that's jumping out at me that is new. Oh, of course, the Italians. I did forget about the premium, the IAR-81C. Sorry, I'll just jump back to that. Now, this is really big news. This is the first Romanian plane. Sorry I missed that out earlier in the video. Now, this is a plane that I am very excited about. This is basically the ground attacking variant. It has bomb modifications to it. It's designed as a sort of dive bomber, which wasn't really suiting its role. This plane is best as a fighter, so when you get it, don't put bombs on it. This thing is really good as a fighter. Beautiful plane, absolutely gorgeous, done by community people, made by players. So it's part of the community contribution program, so they will get a share of the profits for it. This plane is well worth looking at and getting. Absolutely gorgeous vehicle. Do get if you fancy a plane. This thing's going to be really good at 3.0. So yeah, that's going to be a really good grinder for 3.0. It's also rank 2, so it's you'd think this thing would be nearly rank 3, but rank 2, really going to be a good plane. Alright, let's just jump back to America. I do forget to look at premium sometimes if I don't realise there's anything decent in there. Okay, now let's look to the army side of things. So again, there's not much new for America. I think the T-34 is getting an updated model. I think there was one getting an updated model. I can't remember if it's T-34 or not. No, what T-44 was it? It was the T-32, I think it was. Yep, T-32 has got a new model. Looks much sleeker. So some new models for some vehicles. And nothing else in the standard tech tree that I'm seeing. So, oh yeah, there is the, of course there's the XM1. Sorry, the XM803, sorry. What did I say, XM1? So, MBT-70, basically the KPZ, very similar. If you've played this tank before, very similar vehicle, has a huge lack of protection from the front. If we look at the armor values, it's just relying on that metal armor from the front, and it's sort of angling as a bounce shots, but that is a huge weak point for the vehicle. It does have the smoothbore gun again, so again you get 80 GMs with it. It's going to be very similar to the what am I talking about? The MBT. So at least it's not a secondary vehicle. At least it is in a folder, so you don't have to grind it if you don't want to. You can if you do want to, though. So it does give you a little bit of a different vehicle to play with, but it's not going to be a huge game changer. The thing that is going to change the game is a 9.0 premium. Yeah, we've got 9.0 premiums. So let's just quickly look at the Abrams. The M1 Abrams, which is an absolute beast, as I say. You know, this thing is just ridiculous. You know, from the front, this thing is going to be able to stop the chemical rounds of the Type 90 by the looks of it. So yeah, the Abrams is going to be a real monster still. It's going to still be an absolute beast to take on from the front. So as you can see, good protection from the front. This thing is just protection all over. And yeah, it's an absolute monster. So what do we get with the XM1GM? Well, we get the same sort of gun, but we get much less armor. So as you can see here, this mantlet section here is not protected. So this section here is going to be the spot where people are going to shoot center of mass, and this tank is going to get punished quite a lot. Also, you can see here this section is completely unarmored as well. So once again, shots through this section are just going to go straight in and annihilate the commander and gunner relatively easily, probably the loader as well. You should be, you know, if you get the shot right on sort of target, you'll be able to send it in and shrapnel it through all the crew. If you're using heat, goodbye, that's the end of the story. It doesn't have the same armor as the true Abrams. You can also see that the composite armor is much weaker. Again, this is not going to stop much at this BR. Now, of course, this is the dev server, so it is subject to change, but honestly, this thing is going to be it is going to be relatively weak compared to other vehicles. It still has its speed, it still has its firepower. It does have the petrol engine, I think. It doesn't have the gas turbine. I'm trying to remember which one is which now. One of them has the gas turbine, one of them has the petrol engine. Let's just take it out for a test drive to double check which one this is. It's really going to be quite a weak vehicle compared to the true, well, the M1 Abrams. Yeah, so this is the normal gasoline engine. So standard gasoline engine. Still got a good gun on it. It's still relatively fast as well. This thing does feel faster than the Type 90 for sure. Just playing it already, but it does lack the armor. But the big thing is, that armor is going to be a big down point for it. It's going to really affect this vehicle. Still very good speed though, so that's going to help an awful lot. The fact that it's got the petrol engine is going to help it quite a lot, because one of the things with the M1 is that gas turbine is so loud you can hear it from a mile away. And it can give away your position a little bit. So having the petrol engine might be a bit of an advantage. Okay, let's head back to the hangar. We've got an idea of how that's going. So it's a bit quieter than the standard, Abrams. So that will help a little bit. The X-Bone gets its own variant, of course, so that will be a gas turbine variant. I'm not sure how the armor values will be on that. These things are basically going to be making everybody a lot of money, and not just Gaijin. You're going to be grinding off the prototype Abrams for a couple of days, because people are going to buy these. They're going to go to be like, oh, finally I can play top tier tanks. They're going to go out and they're going to get slaughtered. It's going to be a similar effect to when the Object 120 came out, but at top tier. This thing's going to get slaughtered. People are going to complain, and I can see it getting down tiered or buffed significantly, because people are not going to be happy with how crap it is. Yeah, it's going to be a problematic vehicle, and I can see it causing quite a few problems. I forgot to check the Russian... Yeah, no, there is no Russian top tier premium at the moment. So pretty much America is the only nation that gets that real top tier premium vehicle. It's got a 9.0 premium, which is just crazy. Which means we're going to see a lot of American players coming in. A lot more American vehicles, so that will be interesting. Okay, and now on to the Germans. It's Germans. Finally, we have got some new BF110 variants. We've got the F2 and the G2. Oh boy. Am I happy to see some new BF110s? So, standard BF110 is an absolute beast. These more modern versions will absolutely help the beastliness of these planes. G2 there has got some 30mm cannons, so let's look at the G2. So the G2 with the 30mm, look at that, look at the nose of this thing. It is just brimming with weapons. So you got the 30mm cannons up the front there. You've also got 20mm underneath there. Oh, that thing is going to absolutely wreck people. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting vehicle. The head on this thing is going to absolutely dominate. Hopefully, there are rumours that the 30mm are going to get buffed this patch as well. So touch wood that does happen. It would be nice to see cannons actually improved so they do damage. So, new BF110s. As you can see, beautiful planes. The new ones, I don't think the standard one has the extra nose cannons off the top of my head. So you've got the MGs up here. We've got multiple MG17s up the front. So again, that's really going to help with the gunnery of this vehicle. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. That's going to be a nice welcome to the German tech tree. They don't get much modification though. Oh no, they do actually. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. So you've got some decent payloads for bombs. Yep, you get the 1,000 kilogram and two 250s. So that's going to make this thing an absolute monster in CAS. Get a 37mm BK-37 cannon, or twin 20mm MG151s. Okay, so this thing is going to be an absolute tank buster. We've also got rockets on there. We've got the Waffengrenade. No, God, I'm not going to try and pronounce it. My brain is not working too much at the moment. So, some okay rockets. Not a huge amount of penetration. They are the German rockets, unfortunately. Not a huge amount either. So, but you do get them with the additional cannons as well. So you can get cannons and rockets. So, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Now, does the F2 get those? Yep, the F2 does indeed get some cannons as well. It only gets the 20mm cannons, but it does get the option of 12 RZ-65 rockets, which are absolutely bloody useless. They're really not very useful at all. They don't have any penetration power, so they'll be okay for certain aspects. But you do get the heavy bomb load as well. So those things are going to be really, really scary in Tank BR. RB even. Don't think that's new off the top of my head. Don't think there's anything else new in that lineup there. Of course, we have got the Monster. BF109Z, the twin BF109 basically in German. Now, this is going to be nowhere near as dominant as the Twin Stang. However, it will help an awful lot. If they do buff the 30mm cannons, this thing will be quite good. But the biggest problem for this vehicle is there is only one pilot. So head-oning is going to be a bit dangerous because if you lose one pilot, you're down. Whereas with the Twin Stang, you can afford to lose one. So it's not going to be the head-on beast that the Twin Mustang is, and also you don't have that gun pod, of course. You've also got a big fuel tank in this left-hand side, so when that gets hit, the thing is going to go down. Let's see if there's any modifications. Okay, you get the modification of bombs, so you get a single 250 kilogram bomb. Yeah, this thing's not going to be very... It's not going to be overly useful, in all honesty. You're getting an extra cannon, basically, over the standard sort of top-tier BF109s. you've got the extra 30mm cannons. So over the K4, you know, you've got those extra 30mm cannons. But again, it's not going to be a huge difference maker if they don't buff 20mm. The cannon damage value, basically, still going to be problematic. And I don't think there's anything else new in the German tree. In planes, at least. So that's all good there. Not seeing anything else. Okay, let's hop over to the army side of things. So... oh, hello. We are getting one of the scout cars. With the big 20mm cannon on top. I can't remember the actual proper German name for these, the STK-FZ. I know it's something and I can't remember it, and that's really going to annoy me. But these were basically the main sort of command vehicle, scout vehicle, all-purpose vehicle, basically. They were fantastic little scout cars. So, not much armour. So it's another armoured car, which is really good to see. Not much in the way of crew, as you can see. But you've got this big old 20mm cannon with this guy standing right up in the sky to get shot by anything. So this guy's going to get taken out pretty easily. Now, this vehicle I don't expect is going to be great in survivability, but look at the penetration value of this APCR. Okay, that thing's going to wreck anything that it gets close to, but it's going to be hard to use just because it's going to be so easily killed. Let's just quickly take this out for a test drive. Have to forgive me with sniffling and stuff like that today. I'm really not feeling that well today. Yeah, I'm not doing too good. So you've got the commander there. That's easy prey for any gun. So from this thing's going to get absolutely annihilated by planes. It has no AAA defense whatsoever. The only defense it has is its speed, and it has a lot of speed. So four-wheel drive, little basically German sort of style Jeep. Very good on speed, as you can see here. We've got very good speed here. Gun handles really well. Good fast firing gun, actually. Okay, let's get the T-34 because that's going to be a big target. As you can see, the turret doesn't have much rotation on it. It's only a small amount of rotation. So you're really going to have to find a spot to get a spot to hide with this vehicle. You're not going to be able to do much with this other than find a spot to hide and then possibly get some kills. And as you saw there, we just hit a tank barrier and damaged our front wheel a fair bit. So we've already damaged this vehicle. Okay. And we can't go through the front of the T-34. We should be able to go through the turret. There we go. We can go through the turret of a T-34. And if you get it right, you will cause a fair bit of damage once penetrated. There's good shrapneling on this round. So that is something. But this thing is just going to be a fun little vehicle to play with. It's going to be hard to get many kills with it, just because you're going to have to really, really be careful when you're shooting and driving into things, because otherwise you're going to damage your wheels. But that's going to be an interesting little vehicle. It also does interest me a bit because it is a new armoured car, and I do hope we're getting more armoured cars in the future. So hopefully that is the case. So it would be good if we are getting more armoured cars, because there are a lot of cool vehicles. So a nice little small vehicle there. It will be fun in lower BRs because it just has that speed to run around things. Okay, let's scroll down. Looks like the Tiger 210.5 and the Panther 2 are still remaining in the tech tree, so that is good news. They've not gone just yet. Because there are rumours that those two tanks will be disappearing soon. Okay, so the big one for us, the Leo 2K. Okay, let's have a preview of this thing. 120mm Rheinmetall L44 cannon. What a beautiful tank this thing is. Armour value. Very light armour, of course. The rest of it goes inside. Side armor, none to speak of. This thing's going to be, you know, like all modern main battle tanks, it has got that lighter armor aspect to it. It's mainly to protect against auto cannons and things like that. Let's have a look at the main armor. Okay, so do. So a lot of armor there. So what are the armor values? The actual armor value of this tank. Oh, they don't give the true armor value. Okay, well, so we got 360 or 440 millimeters with the NERA. Very high armor values of this thing. Now, with the NERA elements, it's a slightly different version to what the Americans have, so it's a very sort of different. Okay, that's interesting. It has got the external fuel tanks on there still. Okay, I'll talk about that in a second. It's a slightly different makeup to the American composite armors, so this thing should be able to stop pretty much anything in game. Side value, very good still. Side armor value is higher than the Abrams, I think, off the top of my head. And then you also have the blowout panels at the back here, and your ammo storage section here. The rear has also got some protection, but not a huge amount. We've got spaced armor for the ammo, so that should hopefully help against some of the chemical rounds. Yeah, the thing looks like it's going to be good. Now, the big thing in the Leo is you have 4 crew members. So if you do get 2 crew members taken out, you're not out of the game straight away. So that will help the Leo a little bit better. Now, one thing I do have to talk about is just the fuel tanks on the side here. If they're actually acting fuel tanks, they're going to be easy to catch on fire. From the front, even. So if you can't penetrate this from the front, but if you can get a shot on those fuel tanks, you'll be able to penetrate it. Now, the other scary part is this mantlet here. It should cause bounces, but it can cause a shot trap to this section here, which isn't protected. So you might be able to just loop a shot underneath the turret ring. Hopefully the turret ring will stop it, but if it doesn't, you're going to be in trouble. Of course, if you're using heat, then it may blow down here, and you're going to get ammo racked. You're going to want to only take 15 rounds of ammo to stop yourself getting ammo racked in the front here, because that is quite a dangerous spot. So that could be quite dangerous, that ammo rack there, for playing in War Thunder at least. Just because if somebody lobs a heat shell and it does explode downwards, because the top armor here is only 35 millimeters, the explosive force of that might go through there, may penetrate it, and may set off those rounds there, which could cause a lot of problems. So that will be interesting to see. And so I'm a bit wary of those fuel tanks because they could catch on fire, and that could be a real problematic thing for you as your crew. Anyway, modifications. So we're getting the DM13, so 410 millimeters of penetration at long range. DM12 650. So what was the 412 500? Of course we do. Oh no, we don't. If I click on the right nation. Okay, oddly, it's less penetration than the Type 90. Okay, now the Type 90 does use a slightly different gun system. Well, a slightly different gun system. They do have more explosive filler. Sorry, explosive. What am I talking about? They do have more. What's the word I'm looking for? The round is slightly longer. They have more more powder for the rounds, if I recall correctly. They sort of made a little bit more powder, so that does improve the velocity. Actually, what are the velocity of those shells? 1650. Let's see. Okay, same velocity, but just less penetration. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That's just interesting. Okay, look, that could be just a dev server thing. But at the moment, it does look like the Type 90 is going to be the gun to have. That thing is going to just absolutely dominate people. So that will be interesting to see how well that goes. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little look at video. It's gone on for a bit of time, of course. But I hope you've enjoyed it quite a bit, and I hope you're looking forward to it.
Your cable TV is experiencing difficulties. Please do not panic. Resist the temptation to read or talk to loved ones. Do not attempt sexual relations, as years of TV radiation have left your genitals withered and useless.
Well, I'll be damned.
Okay, a plane I missed, and I do apologise about that while skimming over things. I didn't realise. FJ4B Fury. Oh boy, how did I miss this? Well, not sure really. I shouldn't have missed this. Let's quickly check something out. Just quickly. Just because I need to look at it for my own sanity. $681. Okay, good. Alright, okay, good. I'm not going mad there. Okay, good. Alright, I won't say something that's silly there, because I was going to. Okay, so the FJ48B. Now, this plane is capable of Mach 1.1. So, this thing is about as fast as the Hunter. It's an attacker. It has 4 20mm Browning Colt Mark 12s. Yeah, this thing's going to be pretty deadly. This is Vietnam era supersonic, technically. This thing is supersonic capable. Jet fighter / interceptor. This thing is a... This is a very big jet to get. This is a very late jet as well. Where am I? Notes, come up. Because this was in service from 54 until the late 60s. And that's a relatively important sort of date time, because this is a late war, well, sort of a very important plane. One of the other things as well for this are the Hydras. So you can have 2 2,000-pound bombs on board, or you can carry 114 Hydra missiles. Yeah, that's a lot of Hydras. Yeah. Yep. This is going to be a relatively monstrous CAS vehicle at top tiers, for sure. The other thing, though, is it is quite nimble. It's very fast. This thing will be a bit of a monster at fighting as well. It's a naval aircraft as well. It was a naval-based aeroplane. Yeah, this thing is going to be fun. Yep. I might have to work on my American planes a little bit more, because I do want this. I want this bad. Alright guys, catch you later.